Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. Hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. We got another product that just rolled in. I'm going to show it to you. See what you guys think. Having a gun shop, you don't never know what's going to be walking through those doors. I think I've mentioned in a couple of my videos, I love doing consignments. A gentleman, he came down just a few minutes ago. He just left, and he wanted me to put a gun on consignment for him. What is that gun? This is what we're talking about. It's the Jennings 9. And yes, the reason it's called the Jennings 9 is it is a 9mm. Magazine is loaded. Gun is not loaded. But that's what we have. You never know what's going to be coming in. I haven't seen one of these in a while. I know these guns, these inexpensive handguns, have been around for a very long time. You guys comment down in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about it. All I'm going to say is I've had high points in the past. The last high point handgun that I owned, I bought it from my brother, which he bought it brand new. This is back in early 2000s. It was a 40 Smith & Wesson. And it didn't take me long to figure out why my brother sold it to me at a really, really good deal. I mean, I'm talking cheap. Every maybe third or fourth time I pulled the trigger, the magazine would fall out of the bottom. I don't know why. I kept the gun for a few weeks and I end up getting rid of it myself. So my experience with the high point handguns, I'm not talking about the little carbines. Little carbines are actually pretty cool. Never owned one, but I fired several of them, and I have no complaints on those little high point pistol carbines. I'm talking about the handgun. But that was my last experience with the last high point that I personally owned for me. With these Jennings, I've owned these before. Do they feel good in the hand? Nope. Compared to more modern stuff, they don't feel good in the hand. But the ones I've had in the past, when you pull the trigger, they seem to always fire and eject. Not really had any issues with a Jennings 9 or a Jennings gun, a cheap gun. I've never really had any issues with them. And this one, it's pretty nice. It's got adjustable rear sights. When he brought it in, I oiled it up a little bit and I took it outside and I fired it, shooting at a target maybe 20 yards away. I've got a gong. It's an 8-inch gong. I hit that gong 3 out of 4 times. I know everybody's got an excuse, but the third time I pulled the trigger, I kind of jerked a little bit and I missed. But I hit that gong 3 out of those 4 times, which was pretty decent. I was pretty impressed. So I hit where I was aiming. It ejected every round. It actually did pretty good. Is the trigger good? Nope. Does it break at a crisp, maybe 4-pound trigger pull? Nope. In my experience, what few times I shot it, did it function? Yes, it did. So this is what I wanted to show off today on the Just Rolled In. Does it feel like you're holding a brick? Yes. Is it heavy? Damn right it's heavy. But I personally like a heavy firearm, because if you run out of ammo, hopefully you're still on your feet and you could throw it at them within reason. I wouldn't want nobody throwing this at me. This thing actually came with 2 magazines. The other one's in my case here. I'm not going to dig it out. I'll put some specs up on the screen. That way you guys will know how much ammo this thing holds. Sights are pretty spot on. It's just a cheap pistol. Does everybody need a $500, $600, $700 Glock, or $1,000, $1,500 Kimber 1911? No, I don't think so. Do I think there is still a market for good, cheap guns? Yes, I do. Because this could be your glove box gun. This could be your hideaway gun that you've got at the house, to where keep it out in your shed, out of reach of small fingers. Don't want the kiddos getting around of it and maybe shooting at the neighbor's dogs or cats or worse targets. But I firmly believe that there's a need for good quality cheap handguns and cheap shotguns. And would I buy this? If I could get this cheap, would I buy this and throw it in a glove box and just let it stay there? I probably would. It's got an indicator up on top. I don't know how good that's going to show up on camera. When it has a round in the chamber, that little red indicator will pop up just a little bit. This isn't a gun you're going to compare to your Glock or your Springfield or your Smith & Wesson. It's not that. This isn't that kind of video, guys. I'm not going to compare this to none of those higher quality firearms. This is a cheap gun that you can just load up your magazine, hide it, or put it somewhere you hope you never need it, and it'll be there. And more than likely, worst case scenario, if you do ever need it, it'll be there and it'll function flawlessly. You're not going to get that 3-4 pound smooth trigger, but you are going to get that handgun that's going to go boom every time you do pull the trigger. Stick around. Let me get some close-up footage of this. Like always, thanks for watching.